Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Hyperscape. And Hyperscape is a new Battle Royale game created by Ubisoft that kinda came out of nowhere. Right now it's kinda just in a technical test beta period, but for the most part the game is in a semi-finished state with just several features missing. So I thought it'd be fun to play the game for a couple of hours and give you guys my first impressions on it. So right off the bat, you can tell that this game has a different feel and look to it than most other Battle Royales. The entire game takes place in a virtual world, so we're in like a virtual world in a virtual world, I guess, and the entire map is kind of like this virtual urban area. So during the game, you're double jumping all over the place, you're climbing on top of rooftops, you're going into some of the buildings, and overall, it is a pretty cool environment. My only complaint off the bat, though, is that a lot of the different parts of the maps kind of feel the same, or at the very least look the same. There are some cool unique areas, but a lot of it is just fighting on top of buildings, and they all have kind of similar color palettes and stuff. So it gets a little bit old after playing for a couple of hours, but that doesn't make it less interesting. But in the game, you can find weapons and hacks, and you can have two different weapons and two different hacks at a time. And there's some weapons that you would expect, like an assault rifle, a pistol, a shotgun, a sniper, but there's also some pretty quirky and unique weapons, like weapons that shoot balls of electricity with splash damage, or like a pistol that kind of like auto-aims in a certain way but has kind of low damage. And then the hacks are pretty much just like abilities. So they can do things like allowing you to become invisible, teleporting, gaining a shield, creating a wall, doing like a jumping up in the air and smashing back down, and they all have different cooldowns. But what I really like about the loot system is it is completely streamlined. So instead of finding different rarities of weapons and weapon attachments and spending all of this time going in your inventory and switching them all out and unequipping and equipping, how it works in Hyperscape is when you find a weapon or a hack, it just starts out at level 1 and you get it. But if you find the exact same weapon or hack again, you can actually fuse it onto yours and it levels your weapon up. So if you say have a shotgun and you keep finding more shotguns to fuse into it, you could get various upgrades like giving it more damage or more ammo and things like that. And then it kind of works the exact same way with the hacks. So when you upgrade the hacks, you can make them more useful depending on what they are, or having shorter cooldowns and kind of stuff like that. And I really like this system because I always thought that the looting and the downtime in other battle royales was my least favorite part of those games, but with Hyperscape, it still keeps the need of like looting enemies and going into buildings and stuff, because you want to level up your weapons, but it's not just like a billion different processes and everything. And on top of that, when you find ammo in the world, there's not like 80 different types of ammo that you have to sort through. You just find ammo, and when you find ammo, it gives both of your weapons ammo, and I really like that. So it kind of just streamlines the entire looting process, which I personally am all for. Now, the only game mode right now is squads of 3, so one thing that is really important is the pinging system. And so if you've played Apex Legends or watched it, I feel like that kind of set the bar for, the just non-microphone communication systems, and pings. And the pinging system in this game is, it's kind of bare bones minimum, but it's functional. It's probably like the least that they could have done to actually make it functional. Going along with the, having teammates, reviving is actually pretty interesting in this game as well. So when you die, you keep running around and your teammates can still see you, but obviously enemies can't. And if you go to any dead enemy that opens up like a respawn point, you can wait for a teammate to revive you there. So it keeps you kind of constantly in the action, which is nice, but sometimes it is slightly annoying having to, go to one of the points and wait to be respawned, and then they, are fighting and they go somewhere else. So you have to, kind of keep following the action, but it does give you something to do, and so I think it's interesting. I think I would need to play it a lot more to fully know if I like it versus, something like Warzone, but the fact of it constantly is having you do something even if you're dead, I do kind of like. And you can also ping enemies for your teammates when you're dead as well, which is cool. Another cool gimmick that this game is going pretty heavy on is Twitch integration. So if someone is live streaming the game on Twitch, there's like an official extension that allows their viewers to vote on different events that will happen in the game. So things like low gravity or infinite ammo events that happen for like 20-30 seconds at a time. And it's nothing too groundbreaking right now, but in my mind the potential could be pretty big. So, if this game got big, had a lot of players, and they were putting a lot of development into it, they could be doing some really cool events like summoning a huge monster that attacks a certain world, or like having these weather effects that would, do different things. I think I don't really know, I don't have a ton of ideas, but I do like the concept of viewers voting on things that impact the game. It kind of reminds me of a game called Darwin Project, which fortunately is shutting down, but I like the concept of it. Just the execution right now, just 20 or 30 seconds of low gravity or infinite ammo isn't the most groundbreaking and not the most exciting, but I like what they're doing here, and I definitely would love to see the things they do with it in the future. Overall, the gunplay in itself is above average in my opinion. I don't know why I keep comparing this game to Apex Legends, but to me that just kind of seems like the closest battle royale to this one. And I would say that in my opinion, the gunplay in Hyperscape is a little worse than in Apex Legends. It kind of feels less polished in my humble opinion. But another thing in this game that you kind of have to think about in tandem with the gunplay is the verticality. And I personally love verticality in my FPS games. I was one of the few people that liked some of the futuristic Call of Duty games like Black Ops 3 and stuff. And recently I have been playing a ton of Titanfall 2, but sometimes in this game anyways, I feel like people are in the air for way too long. There's jump pads everywhere, and with it being a battle royale, if you start getting close to killing someone, they're just going to use a hack like a shield or an invisibility or something and just escape and start flying all over the map and becoming hard to kill. And it's one of those things where chasing after other people in this game happens a lot because they could just keep bouncing all over the place, fly in the air, go into buildings and stuff like that. And like I said, I have not become a legend at this game yet, but I do think that a lot of people, especially new players, might start getting frustrated with how much verticality there is in this game and how much running away that promotes because it's in a battle royale. And like I said, that's coming from someone who loves verticality in his FPS games, but I just think like there is an insane amount of it with these huge maps and all these rooftops you can get into. It kind of makes running a lot more important in this battle royale, which I'm not a big fan of. There is also a free 10 item battle pass while the game is in its technical test period, so expect that kind of monetization in the future. But overall, I think Hyperscape is really promising. I think that the streamlined looting system combined with the theme and concept of the Twitch integration affecting gameplay could be a really awesome success. But I do think that the extreme focus on verticality along with, kind of just average gunplay in my opinion, and a map that also in my opinion gets a little tiring on the eyes, could hold it back. But if Ubisoft listens to community feedback and puts some work into this game, I could definitely see it becoming a success. And to be fair, this is just a technical test. This isn't the official launch of the game or anything like that. So some of my complaints might be addressed before launch. But that is just kind of my first impressions with the game. And I do think it is pretty promising. But if you guys have had a chance to play Hyperscape while it's in this test period, or if you've just been watching, Twitch streams and other gameplay, let me know in the comments down below your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think it's going to become the next battle royale, or do you think it's going to fade into obscurity? Let me know in the comments down below. I love talking with all of you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make 1 to 2 video reviews a week on a wide variety of video games, so subscribe to see more of those. And if you guys are having a great day today, I hope you continue having a great day. If you guys aren't having a great day, I hope you guys start having a great day. But either way, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.